Hi, I'm Mike. And with the price of eggs on the rise and everyone talking about getting their own backyard chickens, today we take a look at what it takes to raise chickens and how much does it cost, and maybe if it's worth it. Today, let's do some chicken math on Our Wyoming Life. Those are geese, not chickens, but either way, my wife Erin was in the grocery store the other day behind a gal who was talking about the price of eggs. She made a comment in passing, really, about how the price of eggs is now going to force her to get her own chicken, to save money. I've also gotten a few emails from people asking me how to get into the chicken business and how to start their own egg production on their farm, ranch, or homestead, or even backyard. But is it really worth it? Can it save you or even make you money by letting your chickens do all the work and all you have to do is sit back and collect the windfall? First off, let's start with some easy math, and we'll take a look at a chicken also. In order to get those, I'm going to have to move because these guys won't keep quiet. All right, so this is much nicer. It's actually even warm in here. In order to get those eggs that are worth so much to so many, in fact, we're here in our farm store where we actually sell the eggs that we make here on the ranch, you're gonna need a chicken, a female chicken or a hen. Later on, we'll start putting prices on everything, but for now, let's just take a look at what we can get out of her, literally. Even though she's gonna be lonely, we're gonna start with just the one. Contrary to what many people believe, you don't need a rooster to get eggs from your chicken. A hen will lay with or without a rooster, but without a rooster, the eggs will be infertile. So they will not grow, they won't hatch into a baby chicken. The hen takes about 24 to 48 hours to develop an egg. The yolk is created in the ovary, and then when it's ready, it moves down into the oviduct. This is where fertilization takes place if she's mated with a rooster. Afterwards, the yolk is released and begins to form the egg white. Then the inner and outer shell membrane begin to form over the next few hours. Then the egg moves into the uterus, where the egg's outer shell hardens. This takes about 18 to 24 hours. And then when the egg is done forming, the shell is nice and hard. It leaves the hen's body via the cochlea, which serves as the opening for the digestive, reproductive, and urinary tract of the hen. Then all you need to do is pick the egg up and it's all yours, ready to start your way on the roads to riches or just an omelet. Depending on the breed of chicken, they can lay between 100 to 300 eggs per year. For our purposes today, we're going to actually use Leghorn chickens as an example. They're some of the best layers you can get at an average of 300 eggs or 25 dozen coming from that one little hen per year. But how much is that worth? Well, the median cost of a dozen eggs in the U.S. right now is $4.25, which is actually an increase of 59% to what it was last year around the same time. Now, inflation may have something to do with the rise in prices, but the main reason is an avian flu that has decimated chicken farmers, causing over 57 million chickens to be euthanized. Consumer eating habits have also, they have something to do with the price, as egg consumption is on the rise, about 20% over the last few years. So, if we do the math, that 25 dozen eggs your hen has produced is now worth $106.25. And she's either made you or saved you about 30 cents per day. But in reality, who's going to have just one chicken? You're going to have to get more than that. So let's set up two different chicken farmers. Farmer A, who's going to raise eggs and to sell, and Farmer B, who's going to just raise eggs for her family. Farmer A is going to take the whole thing times 10. And if you were Farmer A, you now have 10 hens, no roosters, and 250 dozen eggs a year, worth $1,062.50. Now we're talking. We're in the 4-digit range. And maybe you can even charge a little more. After all, your chickens are special. They free range, they get to listen to music and watch movies on Saturday nights. Now they're gourmet eggs and worth double what the median price is right now, so you can justify pricing them at $8.50 a dozen. They're worth it. Your chickens are spoiled, and the eggs will reflect that, both in taste and in quality. So now your 10 chickens are bringing in $2,125 per year with their gourmet eggs. Of course, you can't afford to eat them, but you can sneak one occasionally. I won't tell. They're best. A little over easy, maybe some black pepper, nothing special. Looks like an easy way to make a few dollars. But what if you're like Farmer B and you only want a couple chickens, let's say 3, and those 3 will give you 75 dozen a year. That's enough for a dozen a week for you, plus you can give some away to your friends and neighbors and save yourself over $300 per year, or $600 if you're going to call yours gourmet. But wait, your hens, well, they need something from you. Just like any living creature, they need 4 things: shelter, water, healthcare, and of course food. Those things are going to cost you money. Let's start at the beginning with shelter. I just did a quick search online for chicken coops because, well, they have to live somewhere. And I gotta say, some of these are pretty dang nice. $1,500, $2,000. Oh wait, here's one. All right, this one will hold all 10 of our chickens with a little room to spare, and it's $599. Now, we should just depreciate that over 1 year because, well, which means that all 10 of our chickens are actually going to take it on a debt of $60. We're just doing it over 1 year because it's just easier to figure out that way. So each chicken takes on a debt of $60. Of course, you might have a shed somewhere that would work, but you still have to build nests and roosts and all that infrastructure. So if you can get out for $600, you're actually doing pretty good. Also, in their shelter, you're going to need shavings or bedding of some sort. That we can search for too. Cheapest here is $6.79. Now, my own experience says that that the bedding will last a couple of weeks. So a whole bag will last you a couple of weeks. So we have a total of about $180 or $18 per chicken for the entire year, bringing their bill up to $78. That's it for shelter. Pretty easy, or at least required shelter. I guess if you need a heat lamp and electricity, that's a whole nother group of costs that we're just going to skip for right now. Just know there are going to be expenses that you don't expect. When it comes to water, that's kind of a tough one to kind of put a price on, but I can tell you that we will need a water of some sort, and here's a 5-gallon water that's going to cost you about $40. Water to fill it is going to differ based on your location. A chicken drinks about a pint per day or a gallon a week. That's 52 gallons a year. And with the average household using 300 gallons per month, the average water bill in the U.S. is about $75. That's a cost of 30 cents per gallon or $16 per year per chicken. So let's add that onto our tab, which is now $94 for the year. Healthcare is next, and luckily they don't have to pay for insurance, and the standard cost is actually pretty hard to judge also. A good vitamin regimen will cost maybe $15 a month for your flock. Each hen now owes $95 as her fair share. Okay, so we have shelter, water, and healthcare covered, but now it's time to take a look at the big one, probably, maybe. That's food. There's so many different choices for food for your chickens. Your hen is going to eat about 1/4 pound of food per day, or 7.5 pounds per month. So break out the checkbook because this might cost a little bit. The basic lay pellets with 16% protein, $16 for a 50-pound bag, 32 cents a pound. So that puts your basic chicken feed at $2.50 for your chicken. So if your chicken is a little bit more bougie, check this out. Organic layer pellets, $28 for a 40-pound bag. That's 70 cents a pound, $5.25 per chicken per month. Let's just split the difference, call it $3.75. And now rent for your chicken is $98.75 per month. Oh, I almost forgot. You have to buy the dang chicken to start with. So we can buy them online, I think. Of course we can. We will select one of the best laying breeds we can, which are the Leghorns, all females at $4 a piece. Now, where are we? Rent from the hen. Her cost is now $102.75. All she has to do is pay for that in the first year, and we're all set. But wait, she's not going to lay an egg for 6 months. So we actually have to feed her, shelter her, medicate her, and water her for 6 months before she decides to lay a single egg or makes us a dime. So now her egg production for her first year is only 12 dozen eggs instead of 25, and our return is only $53 with the average price of eggs today. Even our high-end eggs at $8.50 a dozen are only worth $102, leaving the hen still owing us 75 cents in rent for her first year. Of course, she's going to live longer than that and eventually will make us and save us some money, but research shows that the average hen will only produce about 600 eggs in her lifetime, as they only have about 2 productive years of egg laying. Over her lifetime, she will make us $312. That's splitting the difference, actually, between our average eggs and the gourmet bougie ones. So is it worth it to raise a chicken, or are you better off heading to your local farmer, pay the going rate? Well, maybe a little bit more chicken math will help you. You are Farmer A. Your 10 hens made you $750 in their first year and cost you $1,027.50. So that's a loss of $277.50. For Farmer B, with the flock of 3, at an average price of $6.25 per dozen, in the first year you harvested 37 dozen eggs at a cost of $308.25, or $8.33 a dozen. A little bit more expensive than the $6.25 for our half ordinary, half high class eggs if you bought them from the guy that has the 10 hens, Farmer A. You could have saved over $2 per dozen and taken none of the risks that Farmer A took. You didn't have to clean a single chicken coop, and you never had to chase a coyote away that was trying to eat your profit margin. Next year, of course, will be better. Farmers always say that. Next year is going to be better, both for Farmer A and for Farmer B, but they will need to buy new chickens, and unfortunately the cycle will repeat itself over and over and over and over and over. The old question, which came first, the chicken or the egg, that may be easier to answer than which came first, chicken profit or chicken loss. All this being said, if you want to raise chickens and sell eggs or even give them away, more power to you. Keep in mind, though, that there is a loss that you're going to face with a chicken. This is like a perfect world example that I just gave you. Something that coyote is going to come in and eat a chicken. You're going to lose a chicken somewhere along the line. You may lose 2 or 3. You'd never quite know. So chicken math isn't about being precise. In fact, it's not even about making a profit or even making sense. It's about doing something that you love to do. And if you don't love chickens, you're not going to have them for long. Trust me. Now you may ask, why do we have and sell chicken eggs right here in the farm store? That's a good question. And because I think we deserve the same scrutiny as anyone else, let's take a look at our own chicken math right now. We have about 70 laying hens. That's a rough estimate because I can't count them all. We average 0.8 eggs per day per chicken, so that's a total of 56 eggs per day, or 4.5 dozen. We sell eggs right here in the farm store for $6 a dozen. So we gross $27 per day, totaling $9,800 per year in eggs. We also eat our own eggs, so knock off 10% right off the top of that. That gets us down to $8,800. Along with our 70 laying hens, we probably have about 10 or so roosters that roam around, so our total cost, using our last estimate, which was about $8,000 to feed, shelter, and water and medicate them, that leaves us with a profit of $800. I probably spend 4 hours per week on average messing with chickens, so I make about $4 an hour when I have to deal with chickens. Wow. So why do we have chickens? Because we do. Chickens are the gateway farm animal. They were the first animals we called our own here on the ranch. They're pretty self-sufficient. They eat bugs. They're fun to watch, and they do get along with most other animals. And when it comes down to it, they poop food. That's a pretty efficient addition to any farm. And here's the real meaning of chicken math. 3 turns into 10. 10 turns into 25, 50, and 100. Very, very fast. Chicken math couldn't be solved. Couldn't be solved by Einstein himself. But I'm sure he'd have fun trying. Now, someone out there right now is saying to their husband or to their wife, see, I told you getting chickens wouldn't work. But you know what I think? Get the chickens. Give it a try and see if you can get the math to work out for yourself. All in all, even if you've never even considered raising chickens, I would encourage you to find a local farmer who produces and sells eggs. First, you're going to be supporting local agriculture. And second, you'll never believe the difference a fresh farm egg makes. I would take the run-of-the-mill farm egg over the high-class, gourmet, highfalutin, bougie grocery store egg any day. Thank you for coming along today. This was a lot of fun, and I hope that you can subscribe and follow along as we continue on our journey and explore the ranch life, escape the ordinary. It was only 15 years ago when Erin asked, hey, can we get a few chickens? And look where we are now, here in the farm store. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon, right here on Our Wyoming Life.